Well, 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 we are live. What is up? All right. Well, let's begin with some housekeeping. Hope you guys are doing well and have had a fantastic year. A bit of a wrap up show I figured it'd be worth doing. I haven't done one of these, I don't think, in a long time, if not ever. So, do a little recap of what's going on and maybe lean into 2022. Talk about what's going to be going on. I don't need headphones for this one today. I'm not doing any call-ins. So if you guys want to, in the chat, chime in. You got any questions or anything, you can just drop it in there. I'll keep my eyes open as you guys start to pile in. Do me a big solid and come on over to the YouTubes. There's a link right there. I'm just going to drop that in the chat. And as you come in, for the sake of the algorithms and the tacos, there's always a few guys that are like, tacos for the algorithms in the comments afterwards. Just hit the like button and show a little love. Doesn't cost you anything. Thank you, and thank you. All right, what do we got here? I got a few bullet points here. I'm just gonna freestyle this one, sort of chop it up with you guys. I don't know, it'll go 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes. Who the hell knows? We'll see how it rolls. What a year, though. What a year. What a year. Having myself, I started adding MCT oil to my coffees. This is a decaf. And I found it to be helpful with suppressing the appetite. So we'll see how that goes with the lean team. All right, what do we got here? Who's in the chat? I see Moff, Ruthless Viking, AH, some familiar names. Guys, do me a solid. The link that I just dropped, head on over to YouTube. And when you get there, hit the like button. It just helps out with the algorithms. Thank you. All right. I guess, well, let's start with what's happened with the channel. It's been a pretty good year, actually. So let me throw this up on the screen and see if we can organize this by popularity. That's oldest now. Man, 7 years. I started doing this crap 7 years ago. Share screen, window, boom, 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 boom. There we go. There's that. So if I reorganize this, 7 years ago, I started this. First video is here with my buddy Brad. Started out talking to entrepreneurs in their cars only. I'm going to see the most popular one. There it is, it's still there. Title of the video is Hypocritical Mom Learns Why Men Avoid Single Moms. 10 million views. I think that one is probably the most viewed video in this space by a wide margin. 10 million views in 10 months. That's 1 million views a month. If you want to see the funnier version of that, go follow me on Instagram or on TikTok. It was recently uploaded a few days ago. My editor threw a little Dr. Dre on the track and clipped it a little shorter. You can see we got a new thumbnail there for it with the glasses and the doobie. But yeah, if you want to see the funnier version, I can't play it here because it'll get copyright strike. So we're not going to bother with that. Yeah, so that was a good year. We had a lot of views. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 10. I got 9 videos, and the 10th is coming up pretty soon. That have over 1 million views. So that's pretty sweet. These shorts that YouTube just introduced this year to try to compete with platforms like TikTok and Instagram with Reels, because we live in this new generation of lazier people that aren't willing to, watch an hour or even a 20-minute or 10-minute video. So shorts have really taken off. And shout out to my clips editor. He's done a fantastic job on the clips channel. I've got 2 silver buttons now over my shoulder. You can see we've got one for the clips channel and one for the main channel. And we're on our way to a third plaque with a gold button. Maybe the next year and a half, we'll see how it goes. I don't have my subs published publicly because I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is views, click-through rate, and retention. So those are the metrics that are important to me. But yeah, it's kind of cool to get those acknowledgments. It's got a few super chats rolling in here. Let me see what we got. A few guys asking about, hey man, took your advice on, got myself some 200K IU vitamin D in my coffee. I don't know if you'd want to put it in coffee. Just check with that. But I got a headache. Do I need TRT? No. Wrong question asked, dude. Going offside with that stuff. Tokyo 813 says, Rich, your content really changed my life. I'm forever grateful. Question though, would you say an E90 M3 is worth the money? So for those of you that don't know what that is a 2008 to 2011 M3, which is a great car. I actually started the channel in that car. That was one of the first cars that you guys saw me riding in, was an E93 M3, which is basically a convertible. That's all that really is. So the E90 is a four-door coupe. Great car. If you can get one in a manual with low clicks, I think it's going to hold its value. So I wouldn't drive it daily. Otherwise, if you want to drive it daily, just get one with 150,000 clicks, and make sure that the throttle body, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a plastic piece in the throttle body that breaks. It's very inexpensive to fix. That's the only thing that goes wrong with the cars. And the second thing is the rod bearings will sometimes go, depending on when the car was manufactured. So you can get that fixed before the problem goes if you check the oil properly. There's a company called, what the hell is it called? Blackstone Oil. So if anybody's interested in determining the health of their engine, Blackstone does an oil analysis to tell you what kind of condition your engine is by the size of the particles that they detect through their lab. And they compare it to all the other lab tests that they've had in there. So it's a pretty cool way to get those answers. And I've used them before on other cars, and they're pretty slick. Hey, what's up, Jimbo? Good to see you in here. Only by Uncle Rich, I was aware of Uncle Tomasi, Rational Mail. Yeah, Rational Mail is a serious contender. Books 1 and 2 are a definite read. I always recommend them. That won't change. I've honestly, though, I've changed my perspective on a lot of things in the last few years. The Manosphere, Mana Swamp is one of those things. I've got it on my list here to talk about, but we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, it's been a good year. It's been a very good year. It's been a strange year. All things considering. I just came back after going to the dojo today, and driving around, there's still people, there's still scared little chickens with their masks on in their cars. What are you gonna do? People love living in fear. They love. There's one thing that you'll learn about human beings is they love being ruled. They love a ruler. And Big Daddy State, Captain Fauci, or whoever it is that they're leaning on for their advice, is their big friend, and it is what it is. Moff-san saying Happy New Year. Small 1% meetup tonight in DC. Been a good one. You guys have an awesome time off. I'm sure I'm going to hear all about it in the private community, because you guys never let me down with your stories. I'm really hoping this thing winds up next year and I can travel. Yeah, let's do this. Let's do a little poll. So, do you think, how do I do a poll? Is there a button here for a poll? We'll do this in live chat. Okay, here we go. So, do you think this will end in 2022? Yes or no? So when I say when this will end, so yes meaning we're going to have, I'm not even going to add other options or complicate. I'm just going to drop this in the chat. In 2022, do you think that, let's say something happens like this, like it just mysteriously gets solved? It just kind of goes away. Maybe Omicron is so, lightweight and so, easy to deal with. It is less than a common cold, and this thing just wraps up. Do you think the stock market's going to take off? Do you think Biden's going to take, credit for all this? And do you think everything's just going to get better? Or if you don't think so, if you think it's a no, are we heading for more lockdowns, more of this hoax, blah, blah, blah sort of stuff? You let me know. You tell me what you think. But, I don't know if it's pinned up to the top or if it shows. Can I pin that up there? No, it says end poll. It looks like it just stays at the top. But anyway, you can check it out. Let's see what else we got here in the chat. Gentlemen, New Year. Happy New Year. We got a super chat from Mike saying, here's to a healthy 2022. Yeah. To your greatest health, my friend. Sid says, Happy New Year to all the unplugged from the comforting lies. Done the work. Good. Skylar's asking, does my community do a monthly payment? Well, here, I'll grab the banner for it. If you guys want to learn more, just put in the ticker below. No, and there's a reason for that, because I don't want people that can only afford monthly payments. It keeps the caliber of the conversation and the network high, which is where I want to keep it. So if it's not in your price point, that's cool. Don't come in. I do offer a discount, a 25% discount if you play with cryptocurrency. So if you go to that link below, it breaks down the different tiers. That's all going to change next year, by the way, early next year. There's going to be some revamps in there, but if you want to get in now before the changes, you're always grandfathered in. You get a 25% discount if you pay with crypto. So you can just send me an email and I'll arrange that with you. You let me know about that. But no, I don't do monthly installments. There's no student discounts, none of that stuff. It's straight up. It is what it is. If you're a good fit, then the paywall is the filter. If you're not a good fit, then it's come back later. It's cool, no problem. Cheers. What else we got here? Unplugged and resto. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's an email on my list. If you're not on my list, I'll drop the stuff for it in a bit because I want to talk about something that I'm working on for next year too. But there's an email in my sequence of emails. I think there's like 8 or 9. It's not a very long email list that deals with what's happening here and where things are potentially going. I couldn't talk about it publicly on the channel, but yeah, if you're on the list, you know exactly what I'm talking about. All right, what else we got here? What else happened this year that was dope? Got the 720 in March. That was fucking awesome. That is like a weapon. I don't make enough videos on that and talk about it that much. And there wasn't really a lot going on last summer because of all of the mandates, and you can't go here and you can't travel there, and rallies got canceled because of travel restrictions and all that stuff. So I would have had more content for you, but I threw in what I can. There's still some track days that I have some raw footage on that I may end up going through and slap up on the channel. But that thing is it's just a weapon, man. And stupidly enough, I'm spending too much time drooling at the 765 LT because here in Canada there's a new tax that comes in January 1st. So tomorrow, it's called the luxury tax. And any vehicle over $100,000 is now going to have a luxury tax applied to it on top of the harmonized sales tax. So that means right now you're paying 13% only today. Tomorrow, if you take delivery of your car, you're going to be paying 13% plus anywhere from 10 to 20%, I think is what it works out to. But it depends on what the total price point of the car is. But they're essentially doubling the existing sales tax on anything that costs over $1,000, calling it a luxury tax, because that works for the plebs, because it makes them feel good, because the rich people are now paying their fair share. Like we don't pay enough, paying 53% tax on our income right now in Canada, but there you go. So I've been seeing a lot of these LTs getting delivered at the McLaren dealership by my friends. I'm in a chat group and I'm seeing all these specs come in, and man, they're just awesome. They're just awesome. So they're taking delivery all before this new tax comes in because they're clever. You got to adapt, guys. Shit happens. Life ain't easy. They're always coming at you. They're trying to steal, everything that they can from you. So you have to adapt. Yeah, Chris is in the chat saying he's paying a luxury tax on a new dually truck. So it's like, if you have a diesel dually, like an F350 or something like that, whatever the model is, and you need it for work, you tow horses, you're doing welding work, you have a trailer to tow, that's considered a luxury vehicle. I don't know if there's exemptions for guys that are in trades that have luxury vehicles, but hey man, that's a Canadian government. So you guys can thank Justin Trudeau. You vote for that clown, that's what you're going to get. You vote for clowns, you're going to get a circus. Simple as that, right? All right, what do we got here next? 720. Where are we at with this poll? Why doesn't it show me the top of the poll? Oh, there we go. So right now the poll is trending at no. Most of you think it's not going to end. 80% of you right now are saying this is not going to end in 2022. I'm going to be a little bit more optimistic. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think that they've dragged it on long enough. Too many people are getting wise to it. It's getting weaker and weaker as time passes on, meaning it's not as dangerous. It wasn't that dangerous to begin with based on the early stats from a couple of years ago, if those were right. But I think they're just going to say, you know what? We solved this with our vaccinations. Everybody's done what they were supposed to have done. The government is the best in the world, and everything returns back to normal. And the stock market skyrockets. Inflation is solved, blah, blah, blah. We'll see. I don't know. Or maybe they kick the can down the road for another year. We'll see. It is what it is. So good number of people polled on that, but 80% are saying no. They think it's going to get worse and worse. Yeah, luxury. Thanks, Castro. Thanks, Castro. What else happened this year? Oh, the book. Oh my God, what a great year for the book. This thing has outperformed my expectations. I wasn't like I just wanted to summarize what I came across in the last few years and how it helped me and what lessons I learned in an easy to consume book. It probably started out around 350 pages. I distilled it down to about 200 pages. The audio version I recorded myself, and I am working on a follow up. It's widely regarded as one of the best pieces in the space from the feedback that I've gotten, which is great. I mean, that's not what I aimed to do. I just wanted to put something out there. So I guess I'm fairly chuffed that it came to that and it worked out that well. So thank you to everybody that has read it, has reviewed it, has even those guys that are like, hey, I've been through it a few times and I bought 5 more copies for my friends and passed them out. I could be canceled tomorrow. My channel could go away, my social feed could go away, but you have something like this sitting on your shelf and you can hand it out to a friend, or it's always a reference piece. That's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that. And, we live in a time right now where I'm going to say pretty confidently that I wouldn't have been able to do this like 20 years ago or even 15 years ago, because, without self-publishing opportunities through like Ingram Spark and Amazon and all the different platforms that it's distributed through, there's absolutely no way that the content that I wrote there would have been published ever. Not a chance. There's no there's no publishing company that would have said, "Oh yeah, let's put this out." No. So it's pretty cool that you guys found it, and it's been that useful. I mean, judging by the feedback, it's been amazing. So I am working through book 2. Bit of a follow-up. It's taking a lot of the concepts and some things that I didn't really touch on that much as far as like wealth, but the concept of the unplugged alpha. And there's a video on my unplugged alpha series, I think it's in the last 6 or 7 weeks, where I was talking about these 4 quadrants. So you've got on the top unplugged alpha beta and plugged in alpha beta sort of thing, and how those things sort of move around and what the components are of each one and how you can live your life understanding those things. So I'm building on that. I'm also going to dive a lot deeper into a few other concepts that guys have asked me to talk about a little bit more. So it'll probably be a slightly longer book. I'm again going to try to keep it as clean and easy to follow as possible. But hopefully I can get that out before the end of next year. We'll see. What do we got here? Supers, Jack, thank you for your work. Helped me big time. Awesome, dude. Appreciate it. Thank you. Might depend on what happens midterm. Yeah, I think we have, I don't know what's happening where you're at, Mike, but here we have a provincial election. And I think they're probably going to time that with loosened mandates, if we're being honest. We'll see. Anyway, we'll see how that unfolds. What do we got here? Let's pop their video. Oh, let's talk about the Manoswamp. I got that on my list, the clown show. Coach. Thank you. The number 1 coach. Thanks, dude. Thank you. I don't know if it outperformed that book, but from what I'm getting, the value is definitely there. Women make 72% of purchases in this world, so it is in favor of big businesses to promote women independence and promote women leaders against. That's basically feminism wrapped up in a summary. Manoswamp, let's talk about that. So I've been pretty fed up with it, if I'm being honest, for some time now. And it's a train wreck. Like, I've been involved with, I don't know how many different organizations over the years, entrepreneurs groups, business groups, trade organizations, and debt relief and credit. And I've never seen anything like it. It's like the Jerry Springer show. I don't know if you guys remember the Jerry Springer show, where they're all running around fighting with each other and it's all this drama and stuff. Drama is probably the best word to describe it. Okay. Drama is definitely the best word to describe it. It is a clown show. You lay with dogs, you're going to get fleas. Old saying, you sleep with dogs, you're going to get fleas. You don't want your life to be a circus. Don't hang out with clowns. All right. So With that being said, I've decided that it's better for me not to participate in any endeavor that's tied into the Mana Swamp or in that title or name. You can go there and you can get what you want from it. There's some use there, right? I think Carl Black Label Logic he wrote a straightforward blog like a couple years ago. I think he got fed up too around the same time. He said something along the lines of, what more do you need to explain aside from women? Men don't have very high standards and will take pretty much what they can get, and women just want the best that they can get. And he kind of broke down a few other things, but it's like there's way too many people that spend way too much time on that drama, and I don't want any part of it. It bores me. It's really childish and boring, and it's a feminine trait. Somebody said this. Somebody said that. Da, 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 da. This guy's got to better that. Somebody's got to better this. Da, da, da. It's like, dudes. And the thing that bugs me is that, like, I was doing something before I came in to this space, and I tripped into it. I didn't want to find it. It wasn't something I was, trying to insert myself into. I was just doing what I was doing, and I was just, consuming the content that I was consuming, and it led me to updating my belief systems. And I'm forever grateful that my buddy Tom said to me, "Hey, dude, you got to read this book, The Rational Male," because it was a catalyst. And I'm glad I did. And I'm glad that I started looking at other things too. Like Evo Psych is probably some of the best reading that you guys should look at if you're spending a lot of time on Mana Swap content. Um, it's a clown show. It has a president that nobody elected. It has people fighting with each other all the time. Most of these guys were nothing, before they figured out how to press upload or go live. I came here running several businesses successfully, doing very, very well. And I just started uploading videos, like literally for the first 3 years. If you go back to my older videos from 2014, for the first 3 years, I didn't even do anything with the channel. I was just like, all right, I want to talk about these ideas because I think this is cool. It wasn't until I exited my main business and decided to take this seriously that I really turned it into something, and I built a community, and I do all the stuff that I do around it. But it's been very, very interesting. I'm glad that I'm out of it. So you haven't seen me on shows like Rule Zero for a while. You won't see me again on it. I'm good with a handful of people out there. Of course, I can probably count them on one hand or a few fingers. There's some good guys, but there's just way too much drama. There's way, 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 way too much. It's just silly. It's absurd. Again, you don't want your life to be a circus? Don't hang out with clowns. All right. What else we got coming up next here? Got a few other points. Let's see what we got with the chat going on. There's a few people saying, "Hey, what's up?" Michael says, virus variants weaken over time. This will go away after 2022 midterms. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, listen, they don't want a crisis to go to waste. Let's see what happens, next year. I'm gonna be more on the optimistic side, like the glass is half full. Like I talked about earlier, and I told you why already. Mr. Alex says, "Wish you luck in 2020. Friend told luck is all you need. If you took a look at the example of Titanic, all people there were healthy and rich. Luck is all you need." Jimbo says, "Someone I know once said, don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that it happened at all. You did provide good content while you were a part of it." Yeah. And listen, I'm not going to stop providing good content and talking about concepts that improve your lives as men. I'm just not going to associate with anybody that's riddled with drama and infighting. And it's like, my stuff is better than your stuff and blah, 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 fucking blah. I'm just not having it. You're still going to get the best that I got. It's going to have crossovers like it's always had. Just don't expect the association from me, because I don't want it. School. Oh, what do we got coming up next? So if you followed me for a while and you've seen the community tab on my channel, I've talked about money from time to time, how people are doing with their finances, with their success in life. Are they happy with the amount of money that they've generated in their life in the last year in 2021? And given that my history has been with mentorship with startup entrepreneurs and that sort of stuff, I've started to put together a program that's going to break down essentially what builds the mindset of unplugging from the matrix and getting off the merry-go-round of bullshit where you're always working for somebody and you have a job. Job stands for just over broke. And most people end up in that wheel for a long, long time. So I'm going to put all this together. Let me change the ticker on the bottom so you guys know about the email list, because that's what it brings me to next. Email list is down over here. If you're not on it, get on it. I think there's only 8 or 9 emails on the list right now. They're relevant. There's good information in there. I only email when something useful needs to get talked about. So you can check it out. You're also, if you haven't got my book, you can get a free chapter on my book on the red flags. So you just go over here to entrepreneursincars.com/red flags. Look at that go. Boom. And you'll get the information. You'll also get notified there when I release the content, when it's available on the School of Entrepreneurship. I'm not sure what I'm going to call it, but that's basically what it's going to do. Is it's going to set your mindset to get you to get free from this nonsense that's out there, plugged into the matrix. The Unplugged Alpha is a big part of what I'm building, as far as my brand. The second book's also going to be similarly titled. The podcast is still going to continue. And part of unplugging requires that you want to get as close as you can to anti-fragility. And the closer you can get to anti-fragility, creating a life and a business for yourself that fills your cup, if I can distill it that way, you're going to be happier off. So that'll be coming out the first part of next year. That'll be amazing content. What else we got here? John says, only watch your content, found it by chance. And since then, I've become the better version of myself. Even Blue Pill friends, they notice. Yeah. People will say, hey, John Wick, why have you changed? Or you've changed. And it's like, yeah, dude, if I'm going to get better, then I'm going to have to let go of the dumb stuff that I was doing that got me the dumb results, right? Definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, getting the exact same results. That's what it boils down to. And a lot of people don't do much, like a lot of the Mano Swamp guys are, the consumers are there for the drama, right? Like we've seen this genre explode of holding women accountable, which is really the best way to distill it. And there's a lot of views that happen. It's like, it doesn't matter if it's a call-in show or let's get them in a studio, but it's like a hold women accountable show. And newsflash, you can't hold women accountable. They don't want to be held accountable. That's why that type of content does so well, is because it exposes the reality of what female nature boils down to. And it's quite entertaining for a lot of guys. And dude, like that's like, I get it. Okay. Like I remember it was about a year and a half ago, maybe about 14, 15 months ago. Guys started posting videos in my community of Kevin Samuels. This is when he was small. He was like a 110,000 sub channel, small relative to where he is today, right? And I saw a few of these things, and he's having these conversations, and I thought, okay, this is kind of interesting. And I actually reached out to him at the time. I said, hey, I sent him an email. I said, hey, man, you want to come on my Playing to Win podcast? But he didn't even acknowledge it. So he carried on doing what he was doing, and his channel's blown up to over 1 million and change. But you've seen a lot of these like hold women accountable shows now, and dudes are watching it and they're throwing like money at these guys. Like, I think there was data published somewhere. I don't know who put it out, but I saw it. The Fresh and Fit guys get the most super chats on a 30-day cycle in a month because a guy's throwing money at them holding women accountable, which is, hey, you know what? Good for Myron and Fresh for whatever it is that that model works for them. To me, it's boring. Like I look at it and I'm like, who are these ratchet hoes that these guys are throwing super chats at? It's like, is that a real representation of what goes on in that city? And it's like, hey man, if it is what it is, like I said before, you lay with dogs, you're gonna get fleas. You don't want your life to be a circus. Don't hang out with clowns. Don't consume clown content. Good for the guys that are monetizing it. It's just, I don't know, it's fucking boring. How many episodes of holding entitled bratty bitches accountable, do you need to watch at the end of the day? But hey, Jerry Springer of the Mano Swamp, I guess is, what it is. See, I always like to try to infuse actionable advice in the stuff that I talk about. I may miss it from time to time. Like I may miss the mark from time to time with videos, but I think if you go back to any of my like videos in the last couple of years, there's always actionable advice on what to do with this new information. And not a lot of people do that. It's like, hey, look, here's why such and such is bad. Hypergamy is bad. Solipsism is bad. Women bad. Women bratty. Whatever. It's like, cool. What is the solution? That's what I do, man. I do solutions. I see the problems too, but there are solutions to it. I don't know what the hell happened in my chat over here. It's all mumbled up. Why is it doing that? Okay, now it popped back up. We got the John Wick. We got Mike. Mike says COVID really overheated the construction market here in Sweden. Any pointers on how to maintain it as an entrepreneur? Overheated, meaning building too much. Is that what you're saying, Mike? Look, I don't know what's going on in Sweden, but I can tell you here in the Toronto area, there's a lot of trades guys that are really struggling to find workers. Like they're just having a hard time getting competent staff and trades to come and do jobs that they need doing. And you know, it's not going to make you wealthy if you're working in the trades and exchanging a block of time for a block of money. You get paid $100 an hour. There's only 24 hours in a day. There's only so many hours in a day that you can work. You're always going to limit your ability to earn. So you have to figure out ways of force multiplying that, which is one of the components I'm going to be talking about. If you're on my email list, when I put out that course on entrepreneurship, because it's a mindset thing that you got to get your head around. Nobody talks about that. It's all how to talk to the girls, what to do if she does that. I mean, don't you guys get bored of that? Jim says Miami is like the Los Angeles of Florida. The drivers are awful. I went to Boca Raton. I think it was how the hell long ago was it? It's about 10 years ago, because we had this affiliate guy who was running a shop down in Florida, and I had to go down and train some of the staff. This isn't a debt business. This is a long time ago before I switched over to doing this. And so I think I flew into, I don't know, was it Miami? It might have been Miami, because Boca Raton's just up the coast from it. Went up to his shop for a day, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go back to the airport, grab a car, and just drive around Miami and check it out. And they had Corvettes I think at Hertz. So I picked up a Corvette convertible, drove around, checked it out. It was a fun time. I didn't really experience too much in the way of strange driving habits in Miami. And, the Corvette convertible was a fun little thing to play with, but yeah, it was a good time. What else do I got here in my notepad in the year wrap up? Oh, let's talk about crypto, man. Holy shit. What a awesome and strange and funny wrap up to the year. There was predictions that we were going to see Bitcoin at over 100, 125,000, 150. There's even people predicting as much as 250,000 as recently as 6 months ago. And I think right now, where are we at today? I check it every day. I should know these things. Is at 46,700 and change USD, which is definitely not 200 or 150 or 125,000. Look, man, markets go up and down. I think the markets are still up significantly from the start of the year. And there's some folks that are saying that it's going to continue to go up. There's some that are saying expect it to go sideways for a bit. But if anything, more money has piled into the markets. What's the market cap right now? Cryptocurrency. I haven't checked that in a while. Market cap 2.4. Yeah, it's getting up there. Now, more of the market cap is moving from. What was Bitcoin dominance? I think at the start of the year it was almost 60%. Now it's 40%, and Ether's 20%. Ether's obviously proven itself. I wasn't so sure about it. I started becoming more sure about it when it was around 800, which is a lot better than the 3,600 it's at right now. And these other layers that are starting to prove themselves, like Solana, Polkadot, even like the Binance coin, they're very stable. Compared to what's happened to the rest of the market. I think. Well, I'm not going to issue any kind of predictions, but I think things are certainly going to continue in the upwards direction. The big thing that I'm looking for is Bitcoin to displace gold as a store of value, which it hasn't done yet. I think gold has a 10 trillion market cap. Bitcoin it's not 10 trillion. What's it at right now? It's just under a trillion. It's 964. So the potential for Bitcoin to 10x is still definitely there. They're saying Ethereum is probably going to outperform and perhaps even flip Bitcoin as far as market cap value. We'll see. Huge problems with gas fees and other issues as well. But there's a lot of people working on it. There's a lot of people that are a lot of really smart nerds that are working on trying to solve these problems, and all the power to them. I just when it comes to the smart guys with a pocket protector that are solving these problems and making all the money, don't go and screw up your life by doing something stupid like getting married and having kids in a place that could potentially ruin you. If you're one of those guys watching that right now, honestly, dude, watch my playlists on my channel and get some clarity and unplug, or just watch the Unplugged Alpha playlist, or just listen to it. It's on Spotify. It's on all the podcast platforms. Get some clarity around it, because if you're going to make bank, you're going to make a lot of bank. You're not going to do well in life if you haven't got your head screwed on right. Blue pill, Mike. Just go back. I'm just kind of flipping back and forth from the comments, guys, just to kind of make sure I'm caught up on anything. If DOT drops back to $10 range, I'm going to buy a bunch of it. It has potential. It was at 50 or so, and I started buying it up around 30. I have enough of it now. I had enough of it before. It's just I bought more in the dip, and I think that's about. That's a pretty reasonable correction. But yeah, keep an eye out. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, DOT, Cardano is kind of a dark horse now. Some people are saying that it's got a lot of potential. Others that are like, F this. Yeah, there's a few out there. I gotta catch up with Charlie on his next launch, and keep an eye out for that. I think that's early January, so that should come soon. I'll do a playing to win on cryptocurrency and catch up for more of the experts. What do I know? I've only made some money. What else we got here? Crypto. So what happened here with this thing? Yeah, don't sleep on Chainlink, Raymond says. Yeah, I got some of that too. We'll see what they do. There's a lot of people saying that Ripple. I don't know if they've solved this lawsuit, situation, or what's happened. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of noise out there on Ripple right now, which is interesting. So you might want to grab some of that. I think I picked up some, which I really hate to say because it's basically a banking token, just around 70 cents around the dip. But yeah, keep an eye out. We'll see. All right, what else is going on? So this stuff over here, my supplement line, man, I've said from the get-go, if you want to have a great business under you, it's generally better to stay away from physical products. And I started with let me throw it up on the screen here. I started up with the supplement line on this new website. And, I tied it in the book, and, the supplement lines, it's stuff that I use anyway. And people are always asking me about supplements. So I figured, why the hell not? I think I have a coupon code here. I'll put it in the bottom ticker if you're interested. It's been interesting, and it hasn't been as bad as I thought it would be because it's a physical product, but there's been some growing pains for sure. I can only right now still ship within the United States. So the fulfillment center that's packaging and labeling my branded product and shipping, there's some bumps in the road, and it's not a very efficient system, without taking 15 minutes to explain it all. That's really what it boils down to. I'm moving to a new fulfillment center, which is going to cost me more upfront to inventory items, but it should completely resolve stocking issues, meaning somebody orders something and then it gets shipped out 2 weeks later instead of on the order date, which is a pain in the ass because then the dude's like, hey man, what happened to my other part of the order? And then I've got to dive into it. It's like, that's part of the problem with a physical shipping product you're always going to run into. And it's one of the things that I wanted to avoid. But at the same time, it's been an interesting learning experience. And I'm looking forward to see how that thing shapes up. But hey guys, the supplements are all great. I did a post today on Instagram. It's all stuff that I use anyway, myself. Like everything here on this list is stuff that I'm using anyway. So I figured, when I connected with the nutraceutical company, why not just brand it and offer it to my viewers and, help pay some bills around here because it helps run the show. I mean, the Unplugged Alpha show, it's a free podcast, right? So you can check that out. The ticker's below. And if you use coupon code Alpha10 on your first order, you'll get 10% off. The best way to do it if you're using supplements, and they're all categorized by fat burning, estrogen metabolism, testosterone boosters, muscle building, all that sort of stuff. You'll see it on the links, is just to subscribe and save. And that way it makes it easier to predict when your shipment's coming out. It makes it easier for the fulfillment center, which is why the discount is also offered with that. But yeah, I'll be giving you guys some more updates on how that unfolds in the year because I want to keep talking about that. It's different for sure. What else we got here in my notepads talking about this last year? What a weird year, man. What a weird year. I've never seen so many people so frightened by something that you can only see under a microscope that kills almost nobody. And yet so incompetently, like the state and these, like, I'm just going to call them the broadcasters, they flat out lied about so much stuff or stretched the truth in such a way that I can't believe that people are just taking it. But hey, people love rulers. I'll say it again. Humanity loves being ruled, man. They love being scared about some shit. It is what it is. All right, what else is coming up for me, man? I gotta start looking at. So I've got a recorded video. It's going to be on the Playing to Win series, which I'm going to release next. Where's my calendar here? December 6th. It's going to be on the 6th of January. So this guy hit me up on Instagram that's on a sailboat. He's in his 50s. His name's Dwayne. Shot me a DM. He's like, hey, seen your stuff, read your book. Here's my story. I'm on a sailboat, was a multimillionaire in California, lost it all through a divorce. And hey, man, you want to talk? I was like, yeah, absolutely. Let's talk. I want to hear more about your sailing life and your story. So we did a recorded collab because the problem, it's not a problem, but the schedule that most of these cruisers have that are on sailboats is they only have access to Wi-Fi from time to time. So I like to do the Playing to Win series on Thursday. So we did a recorded version of Playing to Win, which I'm going to premiere next Thursday. And I've managed to schedule in Dwayne so that he's going to be in the chat with me to take questions. And we're going to do a private Zoom afterwards for anybody that's on the channel membership. So I'll drop a link, for Zoom if anybody wants to ask questions about what we talked about on that show. I'm more interested in talking to him afterwards about the sailing lifestyle and the cruising lifestyle. He's got a wicked nice boat. It's like a 50-something foot sailboat, beautiful. He managed to pull it all together after all the bullshit that happened to him, and pretty solid dude. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do some Q&A with him afterwards privately. He wants to ask about some business and some stuff about YouTube, so that's how we're all going to tie it in together. But keep an eye open for that for next Thursday. Kappa says, Happy New Year, Rich, from an Italian rational sister that follows you since the beginning of your channel. I came for the supercars. I stayed for your content. Thank you very much. What else we got here in the chat? Maybe soon. Uniswap. Yeah. We got anything else here that I missed? Hopefully we'll be able to get some rallies out this summer, man. Got a lot of friends that have taken deliveries of some dope cars in the last couple of weeks. So hopefully, we can do some traveling, get on the roads and tear it up and have some fun. The best way to see that sort of content is probably on my Instagram, which is linked on the channel. You guys can go check that out. But Yeah, I think overall it's been. I mean, it's been a strange year. We live in strange times, obviously. Watched a lot of Joe Rogan content on Spotify. You know, shout out to him. It's like I was, I was looking at that deal when they kicked it off, and I'm like, wow, they paid a lot of money for that exclusive right. But I think that was probably one of the best investments that Spotify ever made. The content that he's put out, some of the talks that he's had with people that he's having conversations with right now are phenomenal. I can't have conversations anywhere close to that on any of the platforms that I'm on, just because of how they monitor everything you talk about. Like I have to be very, very careful with the language that I use, which is why I try to stay on here when I'm talking about things, mainstream ideas. You want stuff that's not mainstream. That's what my community's for. You know, that's where we chop up those different ideas where we can't, uh, you know, have any issues with those conversations on the platforms that we're talking about because they're completely private. But yeah, shout out to Joe. I'm looking forward to that new podcast that he had with that doctor. I I think he recorded it yesterday. Let me just see if it's live because maybe I'll watch that after this. Oh man, come on, phone. Let's see. What's that doctor's name? He's the guy that apparently invented the mRNA vaccine, and he's spoken out against the efficacy. Oh, it is out. Dr. Robert Malone. 3 hours and 7 minutes. Well, guess what I'm watching after this? Episode number 1757. Dr. Robert Malone is the inventor of the 9 original mRNA vaccine patents, of which, let's see, which were originally filed in 1989, including both the idea of mRNA vaccines, the original proof principle, and RNA transformation. Dr. Malone is close to 100 peer-reviewed publications. Yeah, this guy's the dude. This will be an interesting conversation, probably very similar to McCullough, which was another huge eye opener. Honestly, guys, if you want this stuff to end, if you want this, this nonsense, this hoax, this like game to come to an end, talk about that stuff. Forget about how to get the girls. Talk about that stuff to your friends. You want to unplug them, unplug people on that conversation. That's what matters. Girls are easy, man. When you got your shit together, let me just clarify, when you've got your shit together, because a lot of guys, from the Mano Swamp that hang out in the dark nerd corners complaining about everything all the time that'll do nothing to resolve their problems. Stay away from those guys. Stay away from that content. Straight up. So thanks for the content. Bought and read your book. TRM. I knew it intuitively, but didn't quite know how the mechanism worked. Joining the community soon. All right, dude. Looking forward to it. Ezra, hey, Rich, I have a little problem. Whenever I try to hold frame, it comes off as aggressive and I feel bad afterwards. Call into my show on Monday nights. The Unplugged Alpha show. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. Appreciate the super chat, but I need frame around it, dude. It's very hard for me to, give you a quick answer to super chat like that. Like supers are more for just making quick statements or, quick questions sort of things. Hey, Rich, I made more money in 2021 than I ever made in my life. It's unfortunate people don't want to work and they don't want money. Happy New Year. Dude, Sam, I totally agree with you. Every year for me gets better, like one after the other. It's uphill for me because I've built my life in a way that it's anti-fragile and that I have, the ability to continue to build and manufacture a life that I want, when it comes to everything. So again, back to the point of that and creating the mind, like it's a mindset shift, unplugging from the societal narratives that have told you to do all this dumb shit that's gotten you in a position where you're scared. You've had to put things in your body that you didn't necessarily want to do, but you did it because if you didn't, you wouldn't be able to pay your mortgage or your wife and kids would, not have a roof over their heads. I get it. I get it. But here's the thing, like Sam's talking about over here, if you want real freedom, you want real anti-fragility, you want to really unplug from all the bullshit, the best way that you can do that is to create a life for yourself that's built around a business that runs in that space for you. Get on my email list. Get on my email list, and you guys will see what I'm talking about when I put out that course. Where's my email list link again? There it is. I'll just change the ticker on the bottom so you guys have it. Get on my damn email list. Doesn't cost anything, and there's some good content in there. That's it. Sid says, last question. Looking forward to buy a Z4 manual. Don't want to know what your thoughts are. Get a M Roadster. Don't get a Z4 manual. Get an M Roadster. They only came in manuals, I think 2004 to 6. They're going to hold value. It's the same motor that's in the E46 M3. Wonderful car to drive. I drove one once. I almost bought it. Really liked it. It's not super fast. I mean, it's not even close to an R8 speed. And R8 to me now is not that fast compared to the McLaren. But it's a wonderful car. Drives great. It's a proper front engine, basically front mid-engine, rear drive, manual transmission car that probably won't lose money. So yeah, have at it. That's the one that I would get if you wanted to put one of those in the garage. If you can't afford it, wait, work harder, get more money, get that one. That would be my recommendation. That was fun. Year-end wrap-up, guys. Onwards and upwards to 2022. It's going to be an awesome year. I look forward to seeing you guys more and more often. My next show, probably have to publish something over the weekend I got in my queue, but my next show will be Monday night, Unplugged Alpha. First episode of 2022 on at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. A lot of you guys that message me, ask me questions, DM me, don't call in on the show. I don't do any coaching by DMs or emails. Call in on the show. The other option too is if you want to sponsor a video, there's always a link pinned in the top comment. It's entrepreneursofcars.com/request. If you have a specific topic you want to hit, you can do it that way. The other way to do it, by the way, and I talked about this before, and I have to publish a video on this on the channel to kind of explain it and put it on the webpage so it's defined. But if you're watching this right now, and if you want me to answer a question, if you want to record a video, 3 to 5 minutes long, send me an email with a link to the video so I can put it up on the screen and play it. Just make it unlisted if you want, if you don't, want it shown on your channel. But I'm going to show it on my screen. So just understand that if you're going to send me a video with a request that you're going to play the question on, if I like it, I will play it and answer the question and do it publicly if I think it's relevant to the content that I produce. And, it's kind of broad, to be honest, if you know what I'm saying. But if you have anything specific, well, you guys know where to find me if you need one-on-one coaching. I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go check out that podcast with Doc Malone, I think is his name. And have an awesome New Year's Eve. Be good. Don't do anything